Production.
Welcome back, everyone, to the number 66 podcast in the India relationship category. Welcome, everyone, to a Coming of Age, the podcast.
Coming
That wonderful, beautiful voice you just heard is my partner in crime, Frankness, and the voice you hear right now is your other humble, beautiful, handsome host, Azam. Frankness, what is up? What is up, everyone?
You do not become the number 66 listened to podcast in India
You
for
don't.
relationships without being beautiful, humble, and oh so sexy. What's going on, my brother?
And giving the people what they want. Somehow we're
Give
giving
the people what they
giving
want.
the people what they want. Welcome back,
Give them
everyone.
what they want.
Welcome back, everyone. Another episode, another dime, another dime. Another dime.
Another dime, another dollar.
Is that how it goes?
Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar. Another dime.
Another dime, another dollar. That's some crazy inflation rate right
Like,
there.
yo,
Eh?
that's some good.
Got a dime. It's a
that's
dollar
a-
now.
Those
Hey.
are good percentages. This is a good profit on that. But we are back. We are back in action, live and direct. Frankie, what is up, my friend? What is up? What is up? What is up?
It is Gwanin. I am just. It's a Monday, man. I'm good. I'm relaxed. I've been trying to just kind of be more, in my zone,
Yes.
and I'm trying. I'm almost attaining it.
Yeah.
Summer's around the corner. You're
Yes.
feeling nice. You get some fresh air and everything. So, honestly, I feel pretty damn good.
Yo,
But
yes.
my outdoor heater tipped over that night when we had the crazy wind. So now there's a friggin' bend on it. So that got me a little cheesed. But it's all right. It's all right.
Ooh.
It's all right. It's okay. I'm here.
Yo, I will say this, man, and I love Florida. I love the Caribbean and all that stuff. There is nothing like summer in Toronto, and like that bridge where it gets like spring to summer, like that temperature. It's so beautiful, man. Really nice, really really nice. And
I consider it summer when... Actually, I won't say it.
say it.
Yeah, man. Really
Gal,
nice. Nope.
dirty gal,
Nope.
legacy gal,
Nope.
boom boom
Nope.
shorts. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? Halter tops?
Nothing,
What?
guy. All right. So going on to the topic of the day.
Hey, great feedback. From Amanda, we had Miss Amanda Chen. Check out Amanda.
Yep.
At her show at Miss Amanda Chen. Is that right? Miss Amanda Chen show,
Yes.
right? And that was a great episode last week, man. We learned quite a bit about the other side, I think, too, because we always get like we're obviously two men here, and we always joked around about never having women on the show. So it's great to have a female voice, man, and a female take. Amanda definitely is strong-minded, strong opinionated, and what I love the most about her is her like give it to me straight attitude kind of thing, you know?
Yes, that's true. It's good because when we were talking to her, I had this sense that you could say exactly what's on your mind, and she'll have an intelligent or respectable response, but also very straightforward and to the chase, and like, okay, this is what I think,
Right.
which is good, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really good because it clears the communication airline. Oh, see, and the episode was about communication. And I love it. So much to say. You
For
could have
sure.
sat there and she could have probably ran the whole show.
Yeah, for sure. And again, you can check out Amanda at Miss Amanda Chen show. We
Check out our feeder. It's episode 53. This week is episode 54.
54, baby. And
54.
there is nothing.
Oh, no sports person this week? Who's number 54?
In my brain, I see a football player, but I don't know his name. I can't put
Oh,
it.
come on.
54.
You can't be saying you're the sports guy, you don't know someone.
You're pulling up. Who are you pulling up right now? Hold on.
It's
Yo,
a
Frank,
sports
nah.
player who
See, we need video,
wears
man. We need video people to see
54.
Frank's tricks right here. Who you got?
All right, let's see. I got someone from the New Jersey Nets.
Keith Van Horn?
No, Steve
Steve.
Goodrich.
Nah, Steve
What?
Goodrich. What year is that? Now?
NBA players who wore uniform number 54. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Oh, I got Boston Celtics. Zaid Abdul Aziz.
Hey,
You know that one?
Muslim brother. I don't know him. No. But shout out to anyone out there wearing number 54. I don't know. That doesn't seem like a too
You know
lucky
what?
number.
I'm
These
looking
guys,
at
these
this
guys sound like
list. I'm just like
very deep draft picks. Like
Kenny
very...
Fields. Kenny
Wayne
Hightower. Nope.
This is bad.
Oh
Wayne.
man, I don't know any of these names. Popeye Jones.
Hey, okay, Popeye.
There you go. I don't know who that is, but I saw Popeyes. So
if you saw him, you'd probably remember him. He used to play with Vince and them back in the day, like Raptors.
Oh,
Times,
okay,
like
okay, fair enough.
And stuff like that. But Frankie,
Yes.
episode 54. We are talking
Yes.
this week about something that I think, you know, again, something that makes our show great is talking about stuff that I think people are afraid to talk about. And yo, listen, man, this is something that we all do. Everyone does. We've talked about this before we even went on air.
If
And
someone says they don't do this, you are straight
Liar,
up lying
liar,
to
man.
yourself and lying to the person you're
yeah,
talking
you're
to.
a nun, or like, you know, you're deep in your dean. Like, you know, you okay, if you're that kind of person, I understand. And you know what? God bless you.
Man, nuns do
Hey,
this too. What are you talking about? They all do. Come
hey,
on,
you
man.
alone on that. I can't co-sign that comment. I'm not
Oh,
co-signing
come on.
that.
Hey, you see that sister over there? Who is she? Yo, man, I'm telling you.
Who is she? What kind
With that said, this week's topic is
Brazers
entitled this week's topic, talking behind people's backs.
That's a long. Is that the title?
I know. I'll find a way to fit it. Don't worry. I'll find a way to fit it.
I mean, that's the idea of it. Yeah. That's the subject matter.
Talking. How can you shorten that? Talking behind back? Back talk? Like you said? That sounds so dumb.
Back talk. Back talk. Talking behind back. This guy goes.
This guy wanted to call the episode back talk. Come on, man.
You saved the one word. You like talking behind back.
Yeah, that
took up people. This guy goes
talking behind backs.
Talking behind multiple backs. Multiple backs. All right, well, you guys all get the subject matter. Go ahead, Frankie.
Yeah, man. Talking behind people's backs. I love this. This is going to be a good one. I like it because people always like, ooh, you talking behind the back? Yeah, I'm talking behind the back. Everybody does it, man. There's levels to this. So first of all, we're going to talk about, is it a myth? Is it bad to talk behind people's back? Like people are like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Why not? All right, that's where we're gonna say why not. Two, how to do it. How do you talk behind people's back? Is there a good and a bad way, right? Like,
Right.
'cause like we said, everybody does it, but how do you do it? And then lastly, have you ever been caught or caught someone talking behind your back? So have you been caught by a person talking behind their back, and have you caught someone talking behind your back? So today is all about
Backs.
back shots.
Oh. Pause. But in truth, I mean,
But in truth,
I do
shots fired at the back. What are you talking about?
I do get the correlation.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I do get the correlation.
Azam, is it bad to talk behind people's back?
So, unpopular answer, I'm going to say no. And why I'm going to say no is because it can be extremely valuable to do it in some instances.
Okay.
I think what happens is I mean, we're saying it in terms of like talking behind someone's back, but sometimes that gets a bad connotation. There's a bad connotation to that. You know, like typically, I think when people do say that, it's usually talking shit behind someone's back, right? Like you're talking bad about someone. You're talking, and especially the talking shit part is.
Would you
like,
not say that in most cases you're talking bad or in a context where you might have some envy or something towards someone?
Yeah, something like that. But I think in part 2 we're going to talk about, is there a way to do it, right? Like, is there a way to do it kind of like in a professional manner, maybe more of a, I was going to say caring, but like more of a caring, compassionate, maybe of a because I mean it's two sided, right? The person you are talking to about the other person, pretty much you're kind of trying to, a lot of times you're trying to bring that person to your side, probably, and or you're
Yep.
trying to give that person hints to be like, yo, man, watch yourself with this. Watch yourself with this guy or this girl or this
Was that
auntie.
see? That's the
and this
thing. I
whatever,
think
you know?
that goes into what you said. It's like, the context or the situation. So I mean, okay, I like to say there's two sides of the coin. Yes,
Yeah.
and yes and no, right? So yes, it can be bad, but is it, straight up, bad? I would say no.
Right.
Mainly being the fact that, yeah, if I know something about someone, whether it's positive or negative, your close circle, you're going to talk about it. It's gossip. You're going to talk about it unless they said, "Hey, don't talk about this." But if you see something that displeases you, like, I don't know, your boy's dating some girl he shouldn't be, some waste girl,
Or her
whatever it is,
armpit
right?
smell or her neck smells or something.
then you'd be like,
This is
"Hey,
true
see that guy?
stories.
You see who he's dating? Yeah, they ain't gonna last. They ain't gonna last." You know what I
Yo,
mean?
dirty
It's
pics, yo.
negative, but you're speaking your mind. You are speaking your mind. But then
Yeah.
if it's more like bad, you might be like, "Oh, see, I heard that this girl likes, this and this. Oh, it's so bad," or whatever.
Yeah.
Are you trying to really demeanor the person, or just kind of giving a forewarning, or is like a light kind of piece of information that's not too bad to talk about? I don't
Right.
know.
And look, on the positive side and on the true side, most of it is wildly entertaining, right? It's like it's very like and sometimes that's what brings people to, like, sometimes, like, say me and you have a joke. Me and you have an inside joke. I
We
would
do have
say
inside jokes.
we do have an inside joke, right? We have a few of them already. And but those are funny to us. I would trust that you wouldn't, like, just go and say, "Hey, Azam said this. Hey, Azam, hey."
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, "Yo, you know what Frank said last?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, and how that stuff can manifest.
So it's the
Yeah,
audience that matters, what you're saying.
audience matters, but also I think what people do make a mistake is just talking shit to anyone that will listen. Because if you go to an
Yes.
untrustworthy ear or someone that you don't feel you are not actually close with, there's nothing holding that person from going and, like, telling that
Or
person,
more so, someone
like,
who doesn't know the person well enough to understand what you're
enough.
telling them.
Yeah.
So again, you might go to someone and say, "Oh, such and such did this," and for you, you might be like, "Yeah, they always do that, but it's in jest, whatever it is."
Right.
But the person might be taking you hella serious and be like, "Oh, yo, this person, look, they're like this," you know what I mean? And all of a sudden they're spreading bad news that doesn't have the story to it.
And a lot of times people are doing that to benefit their own agenda too, right? Especially if I know you don't really know someone too well, and I start laying that information into you, well, guess what? Your perception is now your perception is my perception. Your reality and truth of that person is now clouded by my perception and reality of that person, and I can use that to my advantage, right? And I can plant seeds. I can manipulate, especially in a workplace. That happens a lot. I've been in a few places where that stuff has happened, and, like, you see it come out in meetings. You see it come out in things where people should be working in communion, and they're not asking such and such person for help, right? Or they're not assigning certain things to someone which attribute to their strengths because of a perception they already have in their mind about someone, And
here's the thing too.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. So my bad.
No, I was just gonna say it can manifest itself in so many different ways. It can be wildly entertaining, it can be beneficial to yourself in a selfish way, and it can be detrimental to the person who you're feeding the information to.
Very detrimental, absolutely. And that actually, I'm happy I let you finish, because what I was going to say is it can also shine a light on who you are, right? So especially, let's say, in a workplace where if you go and you're defacing someone behind their back, other people might be like, "Oh, wow, that's interesting about that person,"
Right.
like about who you're talking about. But then they also might be like, "If this person's talking like that about them, I don't think I can trust you. Like, what are you talking about me? Like, what are you talking about? Our bosses, da da da." But at the same time, if you go around behind people, remember, talking behind people's back isn't just negative, right?
Right.
But if you go around telling people like, oh yeah, this is one of the best people I know in this field, or
Right.
they're very
Right.
personal, blah blah blah, then again, that's actually a very positive thing that's
Right.
happening.
No back shots.
For both of you guys.
Yeah.
no back shots.
Big ups. Back, big ups. Big up back. Big up behind back.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so I think talking behind backs, I think it's a myth with regards to it's bad and you shouldn't do it. I think it's your intentions, your audience, and what you're actually saying. Like, how bad is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Azam just dropped his camera.
Yanked my thing.
Thought this guy just passed out for a second. Okay, so how to do it? This is probably going to be one of the meat of the conversation right here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna jump this off. So I talk behind people's back. And I'm not saying that as if it's a hobby of mine. No. But I like I said, everybody does it. And it's not like I make it a constant thing I do. It's just, sometimes it happens. And I used to kind of be very like, spill the beans. Like, oh yeah, I heard this and this. Or, oh yeah, I heard that. Like, the second the person shows any kind of shared interest. What?
You used to be, or you still kind of do that?
I used to be, I said. I used to be. I have evolved now.
Okay.
And what I try and do is, if I am talking behind someone's back, one or two things. Either I give a stipulation where I say, everything I'm saying now, I've said to the person, right?
Okay.
To try to, which technically isn't even right. You know what I mean? But it's like, oh yeah, oh, you're talking about this guy that way? Oh, listen, I talked to him like this all. I already told him this stuff. I'm just everybody knows this kind of thing, right?
Right.
So if it's a piece of information that the vast majority of people know, then I'll say it. For example, at work, there's a guy who talks. When I mean talk, I mean TALK. Talk your head off, or ears, whatever the term is.
Not even jokes.
Like, everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. And when I first started, I wouldn't say anything. I just take it, and when people talk to me,
is it like he just talks a lot, or is it like jokes and like banter, or is it just way more? It's one of those guys.
Whatever you think the definition of the word talk is.
What's that guy we used to work with? Should we even say his name? Who used to just talk, man? I pushed him one time.
Oh,
that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Man, them know. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say his name. But
big up Rodney, yo. Big up, yo.
We're gonna get sued. Our first lawsuit.
But yeah.
Big up Rodney. Rodney. Yo, big up Rodney.
Hey, Rodney,
man.
yo, Rodney. What up, yo?
Big up Rodney, yo. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Rodney, who worked at Worst Buy. Yeah.
Watch Rodney. Yo, what was the where did you see somebody listening to our podcast today? It was like Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
Watch it be him in Bulgaria. We just lost a listener. Anyways,
I said that to CC's family. I'm like, yo, look, your people are listening to our podcast. But what's the thing is, everyone knows this. So I used to be like, oh yeah, great guy. Now someone's like, oh, how's this guy? I'm like, yo, he's knowledgeable, but he will talk your ear. Like, yo, be ready. Like, you got to know how to cut the conversation.
Right.
That is technically talking behind his back, but it's a common thing that people know. It's a harmless, like, it's a warning. It's a forewarning.
And you're probably improving productivity while you're doing this, because you're probably telling people, hey, be forewarned. If you do engage in a conversation with this person, you're losing 15 minutes of your day.
Don't make eye contact.
Oh yeah.
Like, whatever you do, just keep spinning in your chair. Do something. But if you make eye contact, you're in it for the long haul, man.
One of the things that young people say today is like respectfully. I don't know if you've heard that yet. Like
yes,
everyone finishes their sentences, they say something like terrible, like respectfully, things respectfully.
None of that. Yeah. They start when someone comes to me and they're like, you know what, respectfully? I'm like, shit. I'm like, I'm not gonna like what you're about to say.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna like it.
And I think that's
a nice way of saying I'm about to cuss you out
or cuss about
nicely.
someone, right? Like it's a precursor to it's a precursor or a good bookend
With
to
all due
talk.
respect.
Yeah, with all due respect. And I think what happens is the best. I mean, to me, the best way to go about talking about someone behind their back is again knowing your audience, know who you're gonna go to, be aware of who you're gonna go to. I think too many people have too much trust in everyone,
Mm.
or just don't have that awareness, that social awareness to know that they'll just go mouth off to anyone. Like I have aunts and like people in your family and like friends that you grew up with. Yo, man, these guys go talk the whole thing to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole place knows, the whole school knows everyone's business at
Hmm.
this point, or the whole workplace
It's kind
knows
of like
everyone's
those
business.
people who, when you meet, you don't know them, and they're telling you like their deepest secrets, and you're just like, "What's your name?" But
So-
like that, but like people who just need to tell people
yeah,
about other people's information
I used
without
to,
even knowing who they are.
you know, uh, I feel like I'm getting older and I'm losing a little bit of empathy because I feel like I was so much more empathetic and more open to anybody who would. I felt special that people would have time, take the time to tell me, these things.
See, that's the key. You're not less empathetic. You just don't have as much time when you're older.
It's not even just the
You got your
time,
own
Frankie. I
problems, though.
realize that these people who are doing this will go and tell you too. Like if they meet you, they'll tell you too. And if they meet like Saida, they'll tell her too. You know what I mean? Like we're not all
Telling
special. She's
everybody.
just she's telling everyone
No one's
they're
special. They just want to spread their business.
yeah, and spread someone else's business probably at more
Yeah.
times, right? I think the best way to go about it, especially if you're in the workplace, is to not lend a personal opinion. I think
Yes.
the best thing to do is to state what happened, state maybe your take on the situation, but somehow navigate it in a way that you don't say your opinion about that person. I think that's the fairest
Mm,
way to go about it. So if you know that someone did something wrong or effed up in a professional setting, whether that person be your friend at work or just an acquaintance or coworker, I think the best way to go about it, again, to me, is to clean it up a bit. Like say what happened, say your perspective on it, and ask the person you're sharing this information to for their perspective on it. I think that's the cleanest way to go about it in the workplace.
respectfully.
Respectfully, it's the most respectful way to go about it.
You know what?
Yeah,
Actually, so I agree with that. I agree because now all you're doing is stating facts,
and
right? And
you're not feeding a an ecosystem with bullshit stuff too. You're not feeding
yeah,
this thing, and you're not like
straight
pandering.
facts, straight
Yeah,
facts.
you're not pandering to get people on your side for something. You don't look like a weasel. Because you tell enough people, like how you mentioned earlier, people are gonna look at you and be like, if this guy's saying this about this
Can't
person,
say none.
yeah, and I feel that way about. I felt that way about a lot of people. I don't work too much with a lot of people now, but I felt that way about a lot of people in the places that I worked before. I'm like, yo, I gotta be careful. I bust a lot of jokes, and I know I can navigate and not share certain things, but I would go around telling people like, hey man, make sure you don't keep some of that stuff to yourself. Like don't share out your whole family history, your family story and stuff, because these people
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back and they judge you, right? So
They judge
yeah,
you
it
exactly.
they judge you about everything, right?
And that's the thing. Like going back to the first point that I said was watch what you say because people will judge you on. It's a tough rope because they'll judge you on what you say and what you don't say,
Yeah,
right? So you can go and say something. Oh wow, Frank's talking about this person like that. But then if I go and I don't say something, let's say someone says, "Hey Frank, what's your honest opinion on this guy?" and I don't give them my honest opinion,
right.
then they're going to see me as a liar or someone who's not, a straight shooter, right? And that actually ties into another point I was going to say as well. One way you can get around it is if someone asks you for specific information about someone. So, for example, a recruiter called me, I think it was last week, and I was like, "Hey, sorry, I'm not looking. I'm good where I am. Blah blah blah." And they're like, "Do you know anybody?" I'm like, "Yes." I pitched the name, and they're like, "Oh, I heard that name before. What do you think of this person?" Right there, I'm like, okay. So if I say this is the best person at their job, blah blah blah, and they're not, now my reputation's on the line.
You're online, yeah.
But if I
sure.
drag them through the dirt, which isn't necessarily true, that's just kind of a shitty thing to do.
Right.
So that's why I do give and take. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, a person has a great personality. They're definitely a striver, motivated. They work well with the field guys, but they could be better at scheduling or maybe a little bit better with the management, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you try to do
Yes.
a give and take. So that way it's an honest opinion. You're giving positives, you're giving negatives. You are technically talking behind someone's back, but it is constructive criticism that's not necessarily going to drag, be a
Yeah, drag them
negative
through the
to
mud.
their,
Yeah, and like
right?
and like what? Cut someone's career or like a goal or something that they might have or like a
Or relationship.
Exactly,
Right?
relationship.
If a
Yeah,
girl
sure,
says,
sure.
"Oh, tell me about your boy," I heard he's a player.
I was gonna get to
That we can get to it. Hey, I got time today. So I have a boy growing up, and attractive guy, tall, cool, very, very welcoming, and naturally he attracts women. And I mean, what are you gonna do? They're attractive. What do you attract them? So I had a girl come to me. She's like, "Tell me about your boy."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Oh, I heard he's a player and he runs through women." I'm like, "Where did you hear that from?" And I'm trying my best because realistically, I'm like, he kind of does, right?
Right.
But not in like the bad way, like he goes seeks every single woman and whatever. But
It's
she's asking for my
circumstantial.
honest
He's probably
opinion.
a circumstantial player. Like
He's a circumstantial
player.
That's you know what? He's a CP right there. CP.
Hey, man.
And
I'm not only a member.
So I was like, "Hey, listen."
I'm not only
I'm
a
like,
member.
realistically,
Yeah.
huh?
They
What do you say?
Biggie said, like, I'm not only a member, I'm the player's president.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
So I was just like, okay, well, listen, has he been with multiple women? Yes, like most people.
How old are you having this conversation? Like, where are you? University, high school, after
university? It was university.
Yeah.
I'm like, but at the same time, he's such a nice guy, and he's very, very respectable, actually, to the people, to the woman he's talking to, and honestly, you'll learn that yourself, right?
Yo, so, horns for Frank. Yo, what? Yo, Tom Stanley. Yo, big up Frank, man. Yo, you need more friends like Frank, man.
Yo, man. Yo, lying for your bestie, bro.
I needed you. Yo, I needed you in some situations, man. Needed you back in some situations.
Yo, listen, man. If we can turn back the clocks of time.
Well, I still might need help with Said at some point, but you need to make a call and be like, yo, Azam ain't that bad, man. Yo, Azam.
But Said, you didn't know that Sweet Up when he did the dishes for you?
So you're telling me you don't like Sweet Up anymore? You don't like Sweet Up anymore? So I was gonna say, when it comes to relationships, the best thing that guys can do, and I know you're not gonna like this. Yo, man, if there's a gal you like, especially if you're a young guy, and you know this girl you like don't like the next girl, yo, the entrance into her world is sharing some information from that girl or some juicy tidbit about the other girro.
Oh, why do you think I wouldn't like this? I 100% agree.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be more like moral and like higher.
What?
Because
no, I would. If I knew Azam when I was young Frank.
If you knew, listen, you would have gave it all up.
Stop. Look. See his face.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew that the way into a girl's heart,
right,
was by telling her some juiciness about some girl.
Thing, yeah.
Hey, notice I didn't say truth. I just said juiciness.
Juiciness, right?
Guy, ink. I was writing out a note, putting in her sharpener.
Sharpener, come on. Frank's got a closet full of sharpeners. like 8x11s cut into like 2-inch pieces. Do
Hey
you
girl,
like me or no?
yo, take this.
Yo, hold this. Oh, I got the Wilson sharpener.
No. It's like, do you like me? Yes or no. Before you answer, flip a page. Yo, let me tell you about
Yo, tell me
Janice.
this-
Da-da-da-da. Now flip back. Answer.
Tell me
Yo,
more.
bare yeses, yo.
Pure yes. Pure link up. Cafeteria link ups. Pure cafeteria link ups. But that
Oh,
is
man.
like, that will work. That will work, especially in your teenage, early 20 years. That stuff will work, man. But you got to be. Now, I say that and reference back again to how you present this information.
I also feel like you can recover a lot easier in your younger years. Like, talking
Yeah.
behind people's back becomes a lot more serious when you're older. Because, like, if you say shit like, "Oh, I heard this guy or this girl does this," yo, how you gonna recover at the age of like 34? You know what I
Yo,
mean?
the worst is like the mans who
Can't
out
change schools.
you know what the worst is? When mans out you to a girl to get ahead. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, and there's a story that came up recently from back in the day from my boy Forbes, and he tried to warn this guy at our high school about a girl. I said, "Yo, this girl is with enough mans. Like, this girl is a pretty girl. She didn't go to our school, but Forbes knew her via a friend who dated her, right? And it was like, yo, this girl is with enough mans. This man went back and told the girl. And told the girl not only did what Forbes said, but who said it. Like, she said, yo, this guy said this. Yo, this guy. I'm like, yo, kind of, oh, man. We were talking about rules of the game. You're
That's
talking about the
wrong.
game.
That is
Wrong, man.
wrong.
First of all, you're breaking.
That's wrong.
There's an unspoken guy code, bro code. I don't know where that guy is today, but God bless him. Because that shit won't work in the real world. He's lucky that mans were nice them days. Forbes had a good day, and Forbes didn't be like, "Yo," Forbes didn't brace him. Yo, I you to go talk shit. Da, 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 da. But
Man had a good day.
but there's nothing worse than that. Like, to me, that's worse. To me, talking to and see, maybe that's the sexist part of this. Because something I was gonna mention, a caveat to this was, don't you think that when guys talk talk to guys about someone, it has a little bit more like candor, a little more like jokey, ball busting. It has like a levity to it, like, yo man, hey man, you hear about this man? Yo, this man, it's like, it has like a story to it.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I might be wrong, in the times
Yo,
that
we got to get Miss Amanda back on the show.
Miss
yo.
I feel like the times where I've heard women talking about other women, it is like, it is daggers, man. Like how you said, shots.
But,
like shots. It's like shot, and there's not a lot of like jokes. I feel like the jokes lend to like the, all right, we're saying this, but
everything is said with a straight face, no perch to the eyebrows,
and it just builds. Like, there's like a build to it. Like, there's a constant like, yo, you know what she did? You know what I thought? You know what, that one time? Yo, that one time, you know when I seen her? It just builds, man. It builds, and you get a couple women in the room who kind of like are like, yeah, for
egg it
real,
on.
yo,
Like,
for
yeah,
real,
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
oh, really,
for real.
girl? Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Damn,
They just
girl,
like,
for real.
oh yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know
Frank
that.
is, if you guys can't see, we need video. We need video bad. But yo, Frank is like filing his nails, kind of like a nails. Yeah, for real. Tell me more. What? No. What?
Oh, so bad. But you know what? Like, again, there's levels to this. There's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like every circumstance has its own extra like badness. If I were to make up a word to it. So like saying in a relationship can like break two people up that could have potentially been something. Saying at work could automatically make someone's like, career just plateau, especially with these smaller
It
industries.
could paint you in a corner, right? Paint yourself in a corner.
Yo,
right? Yeah.
I think one place, without a doubt, where talking behind the back is 100% acceptable within your family. I
Yeah.
it like every conversation is talked behind the
There's
back
got
of
to be
someone
someone.
else.
Someone's coming up.
Every
Yeah.
like everything. Oh, like you I go back home, I get off the plane,
Hey,
I'm
Frank.
learning everything about everybody.
Right.
And I didn't say anything.
Right.
Didn't say anything. I'm just like, hey, how's it going? You
You
heard
hear
about
Ant-
Ding Ding?
yeah.
It's like
You
what?
hear Anthony? You hear what happened to
Yeah.
Anthony? Wait, what happened to Anthony? My
Hey, you
oh
see your
man.
auntie
Sit down, man.
anytime
Sit down.
soon?
Sit down.
Okay, 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 okay.
Sit down,
Like,
man. Sit down.
jeez.
When man, you know, when older cats tell you to sit down, like come sit. Oh, buddy, you about to hear some Nancy stories, some all kind of
Or when they're
story.
opening a drink for you,
Open
it's
a
like,
drink,
I
just
was just
suckering
passing
you in. Yeah,
by. Well, all right.
passing
Guess I'm here.
by.
Guess I'm here.
I'm here for the
We
next
here.
45 minutes while
I
you
didn't
rant,
got time, but I
while
got
you
time now.
while you rant about Anthony and his shortcomings.
You know what? One of the things when I knew that I was getting a long ass story about someone from one of my aunties is actually a few of them have this trait, but when they close their eyes and they're looking up and talking, so instead of just being like talking to you like right now, like I wish you guys could see this, they'd be like, "Oh boy," and when he came by me, I told him,
Yes,
and
yes,
then
yes.
and you know what he does? Oh, and I'm just like, open your eyes.
That's a
What do
West
you
Indian
like?
thing. That is very much a
I
West
know it
Indian
is.
thing.
I know
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. I know it is.
Open your eyes. No, man, if they open their eyes, it's gonna be pure hard cussing, guy. They gotta say they closing their eyes like, just like,
Oh my goodness.
but you know what? It is true in the family dynamic. A lot of times, I think, especially like in our culture, I think we share a very similar culture, and I think what happens is that's such a like a it almost brings you closer. Like it's like a thing that like it's like almost like a bonding. You know, it's almost like a bonding.
But you know what? I think that's one of one of the things where, like I said before, when everyone knows,
Yeah,
like
I
what they're about to talk,
right,
even the person themselves knows it,
right.
and it's something you talk about because it's like you said, it's a joke, it's a fun, it's a part of the culture, a part of your family to say it. You know what I mean?
I've heard so much stuff about myself. I can't imagine the stuff I haven't heard. So like it doesn't it kind of it always has always bounced off of me like because I think also too if you're sure of yourself
Mm,
and sure of your insecurities and maybe you think
hmm
to yourself, "You know what? I don't have many insecurities." Whatever anyone said, there's no way anybody could know this information, right? So
Yeah.
it's like it's usually off of a simple observation, a perception, maybe a stories out there, something somebody heard and just kind of like grown into something else. That you can't help it, man. You can't help it. And if you
Mm.
one of the toughest things I think again, I think a lot of females fall into is addressing those falsehoods. You know what I mean? Like having those
Yeah, but you
falsehoods.
have to remember, some it's not even about, and I'm gonna defend, I guess, myself here. It's not even about insecurities. Like you can be very sure-footed of yourself, but some people, such myself, I know that I thrive to be liked by as many people as possible,
Right.
right? And when I get the feeling, the notion that someone doesn't like me, I actually get upset, right? Because I'm like, fuck, what did I do? Or is it something, you know what I mean? And again, so now going back to or tying into if someone is talking ill about me behind my back, if it's a joke, I don't care. There's plenty of jokes that my groups talk about me. I know. But if it's like actual serious matter, sorry, and is negative towards my being, then yeah, I would take it personally. Even if I know who I am, I'm just like, I wonder if I can turn that person around to actually think different about me. You know what I mean?
But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like you're hearing a now. Are you saying they're saying something that's false, something that like untrue, or they're saying
Whether
just
it's
kind of
false
criticizing?
or true negative,
Gotcha.
if it's any kind of negative anything, right? So mainly at work, like if at work someone says something and whether it's true or whether it's like there's a story behind it, I know they're not capturing it, then I might, I want to straighten it out. Like, hey, this is what happened, but whatever, like squash it. You know what I mean? But that's
I
just how it goes.
I think with me,
Can't control
everyone. I
everything.
think with me, and I think the people closest to me will tell you that you never have to guess where you stand with me. Like, and whether I create distance where we don't talk for a while, or I'm way more endearing, way more like involved in your personal life. That's how I kind of like. And and I have not ever held my tongue if I got an opinion or idea of like
Mm.
somebody being like Swayze or like be like, yo, what you talking shit about the man? Yo, the man right here, you talking shit about. I'm like, yo, you just love up the man. I swear, you guys just you had a kid. You're talking shit about. That's the worst stuff when you have like someone that like had a kid with somebody,
Mhm.
whether they're married or not, and then they're talking shit about the person, but they've had like maybe multiple kids. You're like, I've said to so many guys and girls, like, why you keep having babies? And I don't understand why you keep tying yourself to it's like you're doing it to yourself. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Because
But
it'll
that's like legitimate talking like shit about them, like not just like complaining about,
yeah,
whatever.
and maybe that's and maybe that's a fault of mine because maybe they're just maybe that's the way they communicate. Like maybe that's their thing of like, oh man, am I what? Yo, this girl again, man. Yo, this guy again. You know what I mean? And I'm not letting them have that moment with me. You know, like I don't want to be even part of their.
Yo, you be the worst to confide in.
I'm
Yo,
the
Zam, yo,
best. I'm the
yo,
best.
Cece's just doing this. Yo, you gonna talk about your girl like that? It's
No,
like,
remember
yo,
what I
I'm
used to
just
tell
saying
you?
she didn't do the
Yo,
dishes, guy. Yo, I
listen.
can't talk about my girl not do the dishes.
What years ago did I used to say to you? Years ago, what did I used to say? Anything little thing pop up. What would I used to say in the chat? Do you
Oh.
remember? Like yo, and what I used to say to anyone, whether it be chef, you,
A
what?
Zam's tagline. You could say anything. You'd be like, man, just having a rough day with my girl today. Yo, leave her. It's like, yo, what do you mean, yo? I just said I'm having a
You
rough
know where I
day.
stand. You know where I stand on this information.
Yo, man. She made some eggs today and they're a little overdone.
It
Yo,
wasn't like
leave her. It's like, what do you?
like why you eating
There
them
was no
eggs,
levels
Bridget?
to
You know,
it. Like
what are you tied
Azam,
to,
that was
man?
just his tagline. Leave.
But I've done that. Like I've had to kind of adjust myself to realize
I
that.
can only imagine. Like
Yeah, how many mans have actually left? I don't know.
if any of us listened to you, like we would all be single forever. Ever.
Single
Like
forever. Great song. Great song. Great song. Okay, so
uh
so what is part three of this was what? Part three of this was
have you
share.
been caught
Have we been
talking
caught?
behind
Yes.
someone's back, or have you caught someone talking behind your back?
So I will say I have not been caught with a serious chat, but I have been caught in my minglings with my cousins who are very close to me. Meaning like there's an equal closeness, equal like they're like my sisters. Um, I have been caught telling where me and one of them shared something, and the other one found out that I shared this thing
Mm.
about the about the other one. So it was still
Yeah.
within the like little ecosystem that we have or little like friendship hub. But I've been
Mm.
caught and all I do is laugh it off and say, "Yo, I'm sorry, man. Yo, man, I'm sorry, man." like I'm sorry like that.
My
And that's
bad, my
yeah,
bad,
yeah,
my
yeah.
bad.
Like, "Oh, yo, I'm like, "Yo, I couldn't. She said this, then I said this. I couldn't like, couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold. That's probably what I
Hmm.
say all the time. Like I couldn't hold it, man. But anything,
You
I
make yourself the victim.
make myself the victim. But I do feel, I do feel like, oh, feel for me. Like it wasn't easy for me to do this.
Wow.
Like it was hard for me. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to share this information. So yeah, I've been caught with that. I don't. I have not. I'm pretty. I would say I'm very good with secrets. Like I'm the one that always says, "Yo, yo, you gotta die with that, man." Every time we go
Close to the
to,
grave.
yo, you gotta die with that, man. There's shit that we have seen, both me and you. We gotta die with this shit. All this shit that all the shit that we've seen, either together or separately.
We
Name,
made vows
no
not to
names.
speak of things.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
I have
mean,
words in my vocabulary that I can actually no longer use. Like
yeah,
just straight up.
and that goes for a lot of people in our lives, I would say, and because they're trigger words, right? It's just trigger words. It's not nice. It's not kind, and you're pretty much gonna break your. Why are you gonna sacrifice your friendship for
Hmm.
for nothing? Friendships,
No, that's
family, and all
fair.
stuff. Because there's things you could bring up and talk about. You could easily, if someone's sharing stuff with you, and you share stuff back, like my uncle will rip on my aunt, but I don't rip back on my aunt to him because what's gonna happen is they're gonna find out that I did that. That's also the flip side to that. And then it's my problem. He's gonna walk away scot free. He's gonna probably have no issues. And I've thought
Hmm.
about this while in midst of being told stuff and garbage and junk and shit talk, I have said to myself, "Yo, bite your tongue. Don't say nothing. Just laugh. just laugh. Just laugh."
Keep it to
Oh,
yourself,
like
yo.
I'm like no. I'll be like no. Oh my god, no.
Meanwhile, you have like a vault of
Oh,
information that you can just
vault
download.
info or like vault of jokes. You don't even want to say the jokes because you're scared these guys might take this shit serious and like bust the jokes. Yeah, you hear what Azam? Yo, you know, you hear what Azam said? No, I don't want to know. Hear what Azam said. I'm too old for that, man. I don't want to hear what Azam said. So, have you ever been? Have you ever been caught or caught someone yourself?
Apparently, I was caught one time. Is me and my boy Mike, and this was years, like I'm talking like probably like, geez, like 12 years ago, 13 or something like that. I can't even remember what it was, but um, I was talking to, I believe, his sister on the phone,
Three-way
and
call? Did you do a
oh,
three-way?
rest in peace, Jackie. Sorry,
Did you do a three-way call? Like a?
no,
Oh,
I
okay,
think
okay.
they did a 3 call on me. And
Oh,
apparently, I was talking ill of him. I do not remember this. And then he called me out one time. He's like, "Yeah, I was on that call." I'm like, "Yeah, but I didn't say anything." He's like,
right.
"No, I remember you said this and this." I'm like, "I sincerely do not think I said anything. Like, I can't. Why would I say that?" But apparently, I said something. That's been squashed time
Long
and
time
time and
ago.
time
Right, right,
ago.
right, right, right,
He's my
right.
boy, obviously. But that's one time that apparently, that's why I say apparently, I was
Caught.
caught saying something behind his back. But I don't know. Now, keep in mind, I can't remember barely what episode we did last week. But
Right.
that's beside the point. Back then, my mind was fresh. It can withhold
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
vast
yeah,
amount of
yeah.
information,
Right.
short term and long term.
The
um,
I was gonna say
yeah,
that
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say that the best thing about like the '90s, man, is three-way calls. Cause like text messages and stuff, group chats didn't exist. You couldn't go side chat with anyone. Three-way calls, man. When I would have like
Yo,
girls.
no, the
Yeah,
best thing about
yeah.
the 90s, star 69.
Star 69. Who called? Who called? That was the who called you, right? Who
Yep.
called? Who
Before
called?
caller ID, yo,
Yo,
star
pure son.
69 their ass,
Your
yo.
mom saying pure 40 cent charge. Like, yo, Frank, what you 25, 40 cent charges on this? Yo, the best would be like to try to get more information about someone who liked you or like someone who's like doing some shit.
Oh,
Oh, buddy,
oh.
having one of your pals or like your friends who are girls to call another
No, it's
girl.
always a girl. I'm
Yeah,
always
yeah,
hitting up
always a
girls like,
girl.
yo, what does this girl think of me? Oh yeah, did she talk about me? She didn't? Damn. Okay.
And three-way call.
that's
And
that's usually
three-way
how my
call.
conversations went.
Oh man, I used to hear some of the worst stuff just to make sure I was on the same. I remember one time there was a girl I liked so bad, and I think it was like grade 9, and I had this girl who was her friend and my friend. See, she was playing both sides. She was like, she was like, "Yo, she's cheating on you." I couldn't care less, but I'm putting on like no, like I'm putting on a bit of a no, like for real, like yo, we're together like every day, kind of thing. Yo, my girl called her with me on three-way, and this is like now, mind you, Azam. I will say again, I don't promote the sexual things. I was not doing these kind of things at these ages. Okay, but yes, I enjoyed the company of women, even at company of women at that age.
Yeah.
Yo, man, what this girl said she was doing with this other guy. Oh man, it was like if I told you right now what you was saying, you'd think like, yo, how you 15? What do you want? Was Brazers around Bang Bus and all these things around at these
Yo,
times? Like,
one
what is LimeWire? What LimeWire downloads are you watching to get all this
yo,
information?
I'll tell you this one story.
Yeah,
Whew. One story of someone talking behind someone's back and didn't know how I was associated with them. And I had to eat it. Like I couldn't say anything.
right.
But
Like on the
long
line, on the
story,
line.
no, in person.
Ooh,
Long story short,
what?
um, oh man, I don't even know if I can.
Use different names or whatever. Use different names. Use a different scenario or something.
Okay, so long story short, there
No,
was.
give us the story. I
I'm
want the
telling you,
story. I
I'm
want
telling
the
you.
whole thing. All right, go ahead.
I was hanging. We were all
Pause,
hanging
pause,
out,
pause.
and there was a girl who was being spoken to, and like by someone, And my boys, one of them dated the same girl before
Mm.
and didn't know how I was associated with her. And they were talking. They're just like, "Oh yeah, she's like cottage cheese." Let's just leave it there. And if I spoke up, a big secret would have been dispelled. Like it would have been released, and I couldn't. Like I absolutely couldn't
You
talk.
couldn't do it.
So
Yeah.
I just stood there, just fist
Holy-
clenched and just tight lip. I was so tight lip. I was just like, ooh. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, they had no
I
idea you were
couldn't
close
say
with
it.
this girl. Like you're like
Had
friends
no
with her.
idea. So I just ate
I've
it,
been in some of those. Man.
and I couldn't tell her either because I knew it would have just absolutely shattered her.
Hurt her.
So I was just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like,
You
fuck,
gotta die with that.
I'm like, I gotta leave it. I gotta leave it.
Yeah, you gotta
I
die
gotta
with
leave
that.
it.
Die with that.
God, I told myself that day, I'm like, yo, I'm down with this until I have my own podcast.
And again, if we ever get paid to do this, we're gonna expose every name, guys. So just be out there.
No.
Be worried.
Jesus.
Lawyers on deck.
Yo, our podcast will last one episode.
Yo, our boy Woods always looks for when he's mentioned, like in a thing. Yo, we gotta contact Woods and Woods and Wong, Woods and Wong, lawyers over
Woods and Wong Associates.
associates. Okay, so let's put a bow on this one. We'll put a bow on this one, and but you know what? Before we do, you got any last bit of advice to anybody coming up, anybody who wants to change their ways? Anyone who has been a chronic back talker, the spreader of information, the super spreader in many cases. You got any advice for these people, Frankie, out there?
So one cliche that I actually don't fully agree on, but I pull from is don't say anything unless it's not nice. So unless it's nice, right? So like if you're someone who does usually say negative things about people or just say like spill beans,
right?
First step is okay. If what I'm about to say bad, okay, that's step one, right? And that's not to say you're not allowed to say bad quote unquote things, but it's more so for you to realize that there's levels to how bad you can say something. So bad can be, oh, I heard they sleep around a lot, or back and be like, oh, I heard they talk to people, but nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like you got to be cognizant of what you're actually saying, and then B, just practice actually trying to like legit say nothing sometimes, right? And it's not to say that you're going to completely switch your script and never say anything, but it's just going to practice. So I teach you to think, like I said, the first part of what you're about to say,
right?
And also train you to sometimes just not say anything at all. Because there are many times where I'm in a situation and someone's saying something, and I'm like, oh, I can jump all over this. I can lather this up.
Right.
But I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't have anything. I don't have enough nice things to balance out what I can say. So let's just leave it. And I actually do practice that 100%.
I love ending on your final thoughts of wisdom. I feel like we should make this more of a common thing. It's like Jerry. Remember Jerry Springer? It'd be like all this car wreck, and at the end, it's like Jerry's final thoughts. It's like
his monologue.
Yeah, his little monologue at the end. So on that note, we're gonna put a bow on this. This is the longest description of an episode we're gonna have. I don't know how Frank's gonna show this.
I don't know. I gotta find this week's thumbnail. It's just gonna be like a black background with text,
like multiple lines. But we'll put a bow on this one. This was episode that we have so eloquently called
54.
talking behind people's backs.
Back talk.
back talk. And well, you know, when we put a bow on something, Frankie, that only means one thing.
It can literally only mean one thing.
It is time for everyone's favorite segment of any podcast that ever existed. It is time for spitting
Spitting
in
in 5.
Hey, that's pretty good. You sound like you sound like the end of the world horn. What they call it, Judgment Day
I want to
horn.
know how many people just turned off this episode.
Thought something happened. People thought something happened.
Yo, just put us on mute. Just like, yo, I'm done with these guys. Welcome, everybody, to everyone's favorite segment. This is Spitting in 5, spelled F. No, that's not right. 5,
The number 5.
IVE. I even messed myself up, eh? For those of you who do not know, living underneath a rock or just too much social distancing, Spitting 5 is quite simply a 10-minute segment. Actually, no, sorry, it's 5-minute segment. I'm messing up my description. Not necessarily 5, might be more, might be less, never less, always the more. Where I have a topic of choice, usually a question, scenario, what have you, would you rather, whatever it is. I pose it to Azam. He does not know the question, it's off the whim, and has absolutely nothing to do with the topic that we just discussed. Nothing at all.
Yep.
Azam,
Yes,
is you ready?
I am.
This week's Spitting in 5 is actually not a crazy one. It's actually a legitimate question. Do you keep what?
Wait, every time you say that, you have a smirk. And when you have this, you don't always have the smirk, but you got a little bit of a smirk on your face.
Because I don't know how you're gonna react.
It's not a crazy one. It's not a crazy one. They come to you.
It's really not.
They
It's
come
really
to
not.
you. They come to
do you keep
you.
do you keep cards? Like when people give you birthday cards, Christmas cards, anniversary cards, do you keep them? Do you like receiving them? Like, what do you do with them?
I am a huge card keeper, dude.
Really?
I'm very memento.
Actually, I'm not surprised.
Nostalgia, I guess nostalgia-ish, but I have bought, like, at one point before we moved into this house, Saida made me throw away stuff because she's like, "What are you gonna do with? Like, who's gonna go back and read these? Like, your grand?" And then it wasn't like, and it's not like a lot of them were handwritten notes. It'd be like my one thing cool about my grandpa when he was alive. My grandma is still alive, but when my grandpa was alive, he would mail me. We lived in the same house, but it was cool. Like, he would mail this. I would get a letter to me. It was cool. Like, I felt important. Like, a letter would come saying "Happy Birthday" to me from him and my grandma. It wasn't
In the
any
same
long
house.
in the same house, but it was just cool for him to do it. You know, like, hey, my grandson.
Yeah.
I feel like something was cool, so that was a cool thing. I think at one point I had all of those. Saida convinced me to shrink it down to, like, from 2 shoe boxes or 3 shoe boxes to one. Like, you ever heard of Drakkar Noir? You ever heard of that cologne?
No. Wait, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like the terrible.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not really sure.
Drakkar Noir, man. Like, somebody, like, those gift sets.
Is that like a brand that you'll get it from like
Yeah,
like Malvern Mall or something?
Byway, Zellers, yeah, Malvern.
Byway,
Yo, Drakkar Noir. Every youth who's a man now knows about Drakkar Noir, man. I got a box that used to be a Drakkar Noir gift set box, and inside of it now is like my birthday cards, stuff that I went through that actually have a little bit more stuff to it, a little bit more meaning to it. I have like anniversary cards. I also have like notes from girlfriends and like these like letters and all. I just keep it all in there. I'm just weird like that. I have all that stuff, but I do keep my cards. Yeah, I do keep my cards, and I don't like when
Are you
someone
a card giver?
I am a card giver, yes. To my wife. I feel like the card means something. I'll give it to people who something means something. It's like I gave you that picture.
I never get no card.
No, but I gave you a picture. Like, I would give you like the picture.
Yeah.
I would give you the picture with a card. Like someone who means something to me, I would. But I mean, other than like a kid's party, I wouldn't go buy a card for anybody. I don't really feel like.
Yeah,
but I like.
I'm not surprised. I'm not. At first, I was surprised at your response, but your personality kind of speaks that to me. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Are you a card keeper?
Dash away, yo.
Like, soon as somebody gives it to you, it's gone next day, or like
No,
it's just
no,
like,
no, no. You know what? Like, okay, I get cards. I
yeah,
like reading them. I'll read. I'm like, all right, cool, sick. But realistically, like, unless it's like, this is my rule. If the person wrote like a
yeah,
message,
yeah, yeah.
I'll keep it for like a bit.
You'll
You know
keep
what I
it till
mean?
the next time you see it, and maybe you might dash it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
real definitive
Right,
time when I'll get rid of it,
right.
but it will eventually be rid of, right? But I do like, I read the messages, I enjoy them. I'm like, all right, cool, nice. If it's just like a happy birthday or oh Merry Christmas, like a quick whatever, like I'm like, what am I gonna keep this for? Like, what
Yeah,
use do I have
right.
this? Like, I'm not gonna read it. I don't need to, you know what I mean? Like, just I'm good, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll get rid of it.
It's like
I'll 100% get rid of
it's
it.
like a phantom respect. Like it's almost like it's like the person's not there who gave it to you. The person's never gonna ask you, "Hey,
I
did
feel like if I
you
throw it
go
out
out?"
right away, like they're gonna call me, like, yo, what did you just do?
You
I
feel
felt
bad.
something.
As I mean, it's like this unspoken like thing of like I have an uncle of mine who's a really great uncle, like really such a great person, and he never misses an Eid, never misses a birthday, never misses like a Happy New Year. He sends cards, right? And man,
Mhm.
when I get this, it's a lot of it, and I feel bad. I feel like almost like he's there watching me throw this thing away, and I feel bad about it. I feel
Ones
bad. About
I
it.
keep like as a default, 100%. I keep all the ones that CC gives
I
me,
was gonna say
right?
me too. I keep not what CC gives me. I keep the ones that Saida gives me.
Like, also, if I dash those in the garbage, she'll see it. But
Yeah,
no, I'm just joking.
yeah. Dash it on
No, no, I
your
actually
work
I
garbage. You
keep
gotta
them,
drive it
right?
away and dash it
Because
somewhere.
yeah, I gotta throw it away like the nearest McDonald's or
Exactly.
something, somewhere she'll never go. But but yeah, I don't know. Like, I just I never feel the need to keep them for. I'm like, what am I gonna do with this, right? And given cards, I'm not the biggest card giver,
Is it because you don't like the right stuff
but
inside of it, kind of thing?
no,
I'm
I
not that
should
kind of
say,
person for too much.
but
Okay.
I'm a really good writer, like a writer in cards. That's the thing. But I don't like giving them. I don't like to go out, look, select one, and then write. Like, I don't know. I just something about having to do it. I'm like, ah. But I can write a mean message so well that anytime Cece and I are going to someone's like
Someone
birthday
mentions
or
it,
Christmas
right?
house, she's like, "Can you write in this?" I'm like, "Why?" Because you're so good at it. I'm like, "I don't want to." I'm like, "All right,
Right.
fine." And I just write fire. Like, you know when you see those
Yeah, me too.
rappers and the smoke coming off their
Yeah,
head?
yeah,
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 when I'm writing cars, it's like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
it's beautiful.
Spitting, spitting,
It's
spitting.
it's poetry, just spitting on cards, guy. But you actually just recently, my niece, it was her birthday like a week ago, and I even told her straight up, I'm like, "Yo, what's your email?" She's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Give me your email. I'm gonna send you some money, but like, I'm not giving you a card. I don't do cards." And she's like, "I don't like cards either." I'm like, "Perfect,
How old is your niece?
perfect."
How old is your niece?
She just turned 24.
Okay, she's grown. Yeah,
She
she
grown.
grown. Yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
grown.
She's not keeping
But
that.
still, I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't need
we
to do
said
that.
right,
Just
right.
yo, show me the goods.
Show me
Let
the
me
good
see.
shit.
Let me see the gift, and then I'm like, should I open? I'll open your gift. I'd be like, should I open your card? Like, is it deserving? Looking at your gift, I don't think I should open this card. I'm just joking.
Whoa,
I'm joking.
whoa.
Or like, if you get a really good card, you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
the gift is probably gonna be trash. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yo, I was gonna say
I'm
something.
totally joking. I'm
I was
actually
gonna say
joking.
something, but I held myself back from saying.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's
I
a
was saying,
literal
imagine
joke.
I go more times you open that thing, you get like a $10 gift, $10 Tim Hortons card at Starbucks. You're like, yeah, this card was nicer than like $10. Like, yeah, what can you buy at Starbucks for $10?
That's not two drinks. That's one.
And the card is five something. Like, yo, Reggie, you could have put the $5 on the card, guy.
You know what's the problem? Like, if someone gives you like, let's say like let's say let's say they give you like a $10 or like $5 card, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can go in. I think you can get like a venti coffee, let's say, for
Right.
like $3 or something.
Yeah, or tea or
And
something.
then you have like, let's say $1 or something left, whatever. But it's not enough for a cookie.
Not.
But let's say you just get the coffee one time. But if you go in next time, you're like, oh, I got a gift card.
Right.
You take the gift card, like, yeah, I got it. And the person says, all right, so you have 46 cents on this gift card. You're just like,
Cover the tax. Will this even cover the tax?
Yeah.
Like, what is
You have to
going?
almost like say, yo, I'm not poor. Like I didn't know how much I had on here. You know what I mean? Like,
At
my
that
bad,
point,
my
you're
bad.
just giving it to them so they can just take it from you. Like, yeah, here, just
You're not gonna
just
throw it
dash
out because
Yeah,
you're throwing out money. So
yeah,
it's like, all right,
use it. And then, can you get rid of the card for me? Yeah, throw the card.
it's like I got the money. I got the money. Trust me, I don't need this, but apply that 46 cents, please.
Okay, so that you know what? That was a good one. I like that one. I like that. I like that one. I would love to hear from people if they're card keepers. I would love to hear from
Yeah,
people there.
I think that's a big one. That's a big because think about it. You never go to someone's house and see your card sitting there like a week later. It's
You know,
always gone.
you know what? My mom. If you go to her house, like in Florida,
Say no more. My mom too.
yeah, they have them, man. They have because you know what too? They have the stuff like from their kids and their grandkids, or like people that mean something. It's not gonna be like
Yes.
you know.
So I should say that I keep my parents' cards. I said C's, but I do keep my parents' cards.
You
It's
just
my parents. I
just
have to.
throw it on there at the end. There, yeah, great.
Well, I just want to make sure it's my disclaimer.
Make sure.
But you know what? My mom's next time my mom comes over,
You're
yo,
gonna
let me
come
see your
check her
cards.
cards. Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't unpack them yet. Your whole
Yo.
house looks unpacked to me.
Yo, funny story. When we went to go do our photo shoot, remember we were gonna do a photo shoot for season 2, and I come
Yeah.
over. I go to Frank's house, and the whole time, like about a week leading up, I'm like, "Oh, yo, Frank, I have this idea. Let's get our like mementos and like personal stuff,
Very
a box
Tokyo.
of
Oh my
stuff,
gosh.
box of stuff." And Frank is like,
Why
"I'm
are
like,
you
yo,
telling
I'm like,
this?
yo, you have it? You're like, yeah, man, I have you. I have everything here." I'm like, "All right, cool. Go over." Man goes, "Oh yeah, let me go upstairs and check." I'm downstairs and Cece goes to me. He doesn't have anything. He
Wow.
throws everything away.
She?
She throws everything away. He goes,
Yo,
"He
this
doesn't
is talking
have
behind
it."
your back.
He
Nice,
doesn't-
nice,
he
nice,
doesn't
nice,
have-
nice,
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
nice.
See how I tied that in? I was tying it in for a reason. And then she's like, and then I'm like, nah, I left the man. Like, oh, he has to have something. The man told me he has something. Frank comes down. He's like, yo, you know what? I forgot everything. Everything's still at my mom's house, I think. And then I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't have anything. This guy's not keeping any. This guy doesn't
I
have any.
had my university. Yeah, I didn't have much. I'm not gonna lie. I
Didn't
can't
have
say
much.
anything.
But
I was taking out like childhood pictures, guy. Yo, if you want to see what he's talking about, check out episode 48, the thumbnail. Episode
thumbnail.
48. That was the episode on rejection. You'll see exactly what he's talking about. The whole picture's like all of his stuff and like my one pitch in the bottom corner.
no one knows. No one knows what the other things don't belong to you, though. The $2 bill and all these kind of. Anyways, that is episode 54. What was the guy's name?
Yes.
Najib Abdul Nazib or whoever 54. 54. Yo, shout out to him.
I don't know.
Shout out to the 54s out there.
Some is easy.
It's easy. Like we tell you guys every week, you can find us in everywhere you listen to podcasts, wherever you listen to music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe, like, comment. We're on every social media platform that is right out there, but we're not on TikTok. I think TikTok's the only one. TikTok's the only one we're not on. But
I can't do TikTok, man.
Twitter, Facebook, IG. You can always email us at comingofage.thepodcast@gmail.com. We love to hear from you guys. Please keep the comments coming. Please keep the DMs coming. Any which way you guys want to contact us is fine with us. And your engagement makes us more and more passionate every week. Your feedback drives our passion to keep showing up every week and doing these shows. Me and Frank,
I gotta say shout out to Cece's Fam Jam group message. Whole bunch of them started listening to the podcast, gave us some feedback. Shout out Ellie, she's listening. Desi, they all going at it. So thank you so much. We keep hearing the same thing, that we have a good back and forth conversation, good vibes and whatnot. So
hey, we're pretty good.
Keep that going.
We're pretty good at this thing, man. We're pretty good at this thing.
I mean, I'm not gonna brag, but I am gonna brag.
And that puts Frank. Any last? I'll give you the last word here on this one.
I already did the Frank monologue.
Oh, that's true. You did your Jerry Springer moment of clarity. With that being said, then we're out. Episode 54 is in the books. We'll catch y'all down the road.
Peace.
Check you.